UFL Primetime headed out west. We are in Albuquerque, New Mexico for another showdown. This one in Western Conference fashion. It's the LA Aztecs traveling east to take on the Albuquerque Atomics. Welcome into the broadcast booth, everybody. It's Chris Curtis and it's Ramos Lynn with you tonight. Ramos, a team in the hunt in the playoff picture in the Western Conference, and one sitting pretty in the sixth spot. How you doing?
I'm doing good. And this shapes out to be a really good game. Los Angeles is a team that is either very, very much hit a grand slam or just a swing and a miss sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, they probably have the best defense in the league. Maybe for me, Rain Rie is the league's MVP, all things considered, because he is maybe the best player on the best defense in the league. But you never know with Los Angeles, as Albuquerque is at home and they have a chance.
Albuquerque has been a wild card so far this season, sitting at 4-5, and they'll get a return out to the 25-yard line. That'll bring out this Albuquerque offense to start things out. It is going to, actually, that is the Aztecs on the offensive side of the ball. Apologies, jerseys got me. It is the white jerseys, and it is a Marco Swift throw on play action on first down, and it is incomplete. And that will give us a look at that LA offense. Marco Swift, Isaiah Fowler in the quarterback halfback spot. And who else are you looking at, Ramos?
You know, I'm looking at the offensive line in general. I think if the offensive line gives their quarterback, Marco Swift enough time, he can make some plays. And for Fowler, he just needs a little bit of a crease, and he can be gone for 20-plus yards on any play.
Yeah, Isaiah Fowler, definitely one to watch. Quick screen play, and that one's a fumble. That's a live ball picked up by Albuquerque down to the 5-yard line. They'll get him at the 7. Oh, man, a big-time turnover, and LA turns it over on the second play from scrimmage. Unreal for the Atomics.
And that does seem to be a lateral, even though the receiver didn't have possession. Is that a lateral? If that is a lateral throw, it doesn't matter. Albuquerque will have possession inside the 10-yard line. Clearly, a knee is not down with any possession, right. So I guess Albuquerque will be sitting pretty.
Yeah, Albuquerque in good shape. That was a Rashawn Favors fumble recovery, the scoop and the near score. They have it at the 7-yard line. It's Dennis Tolbert trying to get Albuquerque in the end zone early on. Tolbert backs up, has the football, looks, throws, end zone, and it is incomplete. Couldn't quite get it there. 0 for 1 is Tolbert at 2nd and goal.
And, you need, field position like this against Los Angeles because, getting a drive 60, 70 yards is not very likely against this team.
Look for Bo Braxton down here, the tight end. Tolbert again, short, incomplete one more time. That was coming across the middle. The defender nearly brought that one in. 3rd down. Look for Shark Tarkington as well. Jackson Hobbs making his UFL debut is the single back on this play. 3rd and goal. LA trying to hold the red zone defense together. Tolbert backs up, throws, back in the end zone, incomplete, a little ahead of the route, and that is going to end the drive. A 3-point try coming up for the Atomics.
We were talking it on pregame, Curtis. Guessing if a pass is gonna be complete or incomplete against the Aztecs is the same as tossing a coin. It's about 50%. Yeah. So I'm surprised Albuquerque actually went with 3 straight passes from the 7 instead of giving it to the new coming back. Fresh legs, I would have given it to him at least once out of the 3 downs.
Yeah, Timmy Neal's going to knock through a 24-yard chip shot field goal, and that is going to put Albuquerque on the board. So good on him to get 3 points off the turnover. And LA starts behind the, maybe not the 8 ball, but I'd say behind the 6 ball at this point, as they will get the ball back and try not to repeat their previous mistakes. So let's redo the opening kickoff. Albuquerque has it on the tee, and it'll be the Aztecs receiving deep. Let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah, and for the Aztecs, it has to be encouraging, Curtis, that okay, the defense had a strong start. If we can just limit the mistakes on offense, we should be fine in this game.
Devin Miles will be back in the end zone for the touchback, and out comes Marco Swift for his now 2nd drive And 1st and 10 for them at the 25-yard line. LA comes in with the league's best defense, both arguably and statistically, as it stands right now. Their offense needs some work, but it's not exactly bad by any stretch of the imagination. Marco's going to put this out to the left. That is caught, but I don't believe they gave him the completion out of bounds. And we take a look at the Albuquerque defense. There's that defensive line.
Yeah, and I think the linebackers need to put pressure on Marco Swift. That's going to be a key for this game. You know, they cannot just let number 7 sit in the pocket for 5-6 seconds. I mean, he's going to find an open receiver. So with the 3 down D linemen set, I think they will need to send some linebackers on most of at least passing downs.
Iggy Turner, Miles Morales Woods, your duo of wide receivers for LA. They're going to hand it off to Fowler in this case, and he will get a couple of yards off that incompletion, make it 3rd and 6. The tight end, Lars Bazar, and then the offensive line, it is Xander Orion and Liam Swift is going to be the offensive line mates for LA in a user capacity. This is going to be a 3rd and 6. Left side caught. That's going to get to the 43, to the 45, to the 47-yard line, and he's knocked out of bounds. 1st and 10 for LA.
The timing route, that's a curl route on the outside to the X-receiver, and Swift does a really good job throwing, getting rid of the ball as the wide receiver was making his cut. A good throw in between the 2 DBs, and a 1st down for the Aztecs. First down of the game for either team.
First catch of the game for Iggy Turner off of that completion as well. Swift is in the gun. He's got Isaiah Fowler to his left. Look for Adam Knoll, who's going to make an appearance as well at some point. Unclaimed running back number 2 for the Aztecs. 1st down run for Fowler is going to get them 6 yards. That'll put them on schedule. It's 2nd and 4.
Yeah, and I will run it again here on 2nd down and 4. You know, maybe put in a couple. Well, actually, they're going to go empty.
They will. They're going to put the ball in Marco Swift's hands. 2nd and 4. Throwing short. That's a quick outside curl, and that is a catch and a 1st down. So correcting myself, Iggy Turner has 2 catches in this game. The first one was a fumble, but they may call that a rush, all told. And now that I remember, it was a lateral that caused that fumble. 1st and 10. See what they can do with it. That's a handoff for Fowler, and he's going to get a couple of yards forward, not much. And it'll be 2nd and 6 is what they'll say.
Yeah, but staying ahead of the sticks is always good. 2nd down and 6 coming up. 2 tight ends. Why not give in to him again?
Yep, they're at the 39-yard line. They're in scoring range. Not quite 3 yet, but they're in positive territory. And that will get them a little bit closer. 3rd and 4. Albuquerque coming in. They have struggled defensively, 17th best in the UFL on 3rd downs. They need a stop here. One of their main improvement points defensively has been 3rd downs. LA trying to convert. Got to get it to the 33-yard line. Looks to throw. That is caught down the left side across the field. That is an Iggy Turner catch again. No, I'm sorry, not Iggy Turner. That is a Lenric Fancher, the 2nd on the catch, and it is 1st and 10.
Yeah, but it's basically what we're talking about, right? You cannot give Marco Swift, 5-6 seconds to find an open receiver because he will. So just about 3 or maybe even 4 men rushed on the play, and Swift had all day to throw.
Here come the Aztecs. They're working the ball inside the red zone at this point, at the 18-yard line. 19 is what they'll say officially. Swift in trouble, fumbles the ball. It's recovered by the Aztecs, but that was dangerous. Nearly gave it up in the red zone. And they do keep it, but it creates a 2nd and 17.
Man, I mean, that was, I think, on the center, actually. Just not getting any blocks, and then Swift kind of whiffs on it, too. Luckily, he redeems himself by recovering the fumble, but now it's a 2nd down and very long for the Aztecs.
Scary stuff for LA. Nearly had 2 possessions and 2 turnovers. Instead, they do keep it, but that'll remind them to take care of the football. This will be a play action throw for Swift. He's going to run this to the outside. The throw is there, but he did not get very far with that. They lose 3 yards in the process, and they create a 3rd and 20 for themselves. It'd be a 46-yarder from here. if they don't convert. Can't even see the first down marker on screen. In the gun, Swift backs it up. Pressure non-existent, throws, end zone, and it's incomplete. That was very close to the play of the day. Didn't quite get it done, but man, oh man, did they want that one. That's Lars Bazaar.
Yeah, that's a really good throw by Swift. I mean, putting it out there to this big receiver and a big hit. I mean, it was a good throw, but a hospital pass at the same time. You can have both. But this is a pretty tough field goal attempt, Curtis.
Yeah, 46 yards is no joke. Chris McCray is going to put this one up from the left hash. It is up, and it is through. So that'll work. They do tie the game up after a decent drive downfield. They let a little bit of ball security issues get to them and create themselves a situation where they're behind the sticks, but they at least get some points and tie the game.
Yeah, but again, you know, especially on the road, you know, you get a fumble on the first drive, you allow 3 points, but even responding with only 3, tying the ball game up is positive. Los Angeles had a pretty good drive until they got to the red zone, and then the wheels started to fall off a little bit.
I like it. That's good stuff from the Aztecs, able to recover from that fumble early on. And I mean, they could be down 7-3 at this point, but instead their defense bailed them out, and their defense gets to take the field on this. This will be a return for Albuquerque. This is a decent return out to the 30-yard line, and that will set the Atomics up with halfway decent field position to start things out. So here come the Atomics. I wouldn't say they're an anemic offense, but they're a Jekyll and Hyde offense, Ramos. They ups and downs all season long. Their offense has won them some games. Their offense has lost them some games, and they are trying to get back to 500 for the first time in a while.
Yeah, similar to Los Angeles, honestly. You know, very volatile offenses.
That'll be a run to the outside, and that is going to be a 4-yard run. It is 2nd and 6. Reminder, we've got AI expert Cameron Irvine in the background as well. We'll be going to him here shortly as we get the second down play underway. Nickel look on defense for LA. Looking to throw this. Tolbert over the middle. That's incomplete. Cameron, checking in with you. What's going on?
Hey, guys, and I think the camera's lagging a little bit, but we'll try to get past that. Interesting note about that fumble on that lateral. That is a direct result of carrying statistics for wide receivers. We've seen a number of fumbles on that this season so far, as Tolbert's pass is short of the sticks. But it's those wide receivers having poor carrying as a statistic because it's technically a run. And so once you get the football there, you're trying to protect that, in your midst. So if wide receivers are out here looking like, oh, I can't stand that, why is that happening? Carrying might be something to boost in the future.
Fair enough. Something to think about. You don't always think about the intricacies of running the ball when you're a wide receiver. It's an Albuquerque punt as LA's defense, especially on 3rd down, does their job. So a quick 3 and out from the Atomics will give LA back the football. That's a booming punt, but it'll bounce into the end zone for the touchback. LA is back on offense. Ramos, what do we see?
Yeah, we see an offense that got some momentum and got some confidence over the past drive. You know, they were able to run the ball with Fowler a few times. Even Noel got involved. And Marco Swift, when he got rid of the ball, he looked pretty accurate.
Swift in the gun by himself, throws a crossing pattern to the 30-yard line, and it's a completion and another first down. That drag pattern's really, really good against zone defense. That was a man-to-man play there, but they were still able to get the speed out in front. Favors with the catch, and here comes a first down play. 7-step drop, throw to the outside, a running start for Fowler. He's got a lot of room down the right sideline. Isaiah Fowler to the house. That is a touchdown.
I mean, if you give that guy just a little bit of a crease, he can be gone for sure. And that's on the run and on the throw. That's a wheel route, and that's just a tremendous route ran by Fowler. I mean, it is the good old flat going into the wheel, right? So it is you fake it to go to the outside underneath, and then you cut it up and upfield and just completely wide open as the corner just bit for the flat.
Raphael Freeman, the free safety, was down there. I think he expected Fowler to go to the outside, just a quick little hitch route to the outside towards the sideline. As Fowler turned it upfield on the wheel route, there was nowhere for him to go. And Raphael Freeman was going to wear that one on the sideline. And that kick is going to be up from the kicker, and it is good. So the Aztecs come through, get a quick score touchdown after the 3-and-out. They clearly have the momentum on the road.
Yeah, they do, for sure. I mean, they've been able to get a couple of stops. One of them, technically half a stop, they allowed a field goal, but it was a 0-play drive, as Tolbert has only completed one pass for 1 yard so far in this game.
He has. It's been a not exactly a show of force for him. Marco Swift on the other side, though. Marco Swift with the Matt Leinart effect from the old USC days. He throws for 2 yards and lets Isaiah Fowler do the rest. That's a completion for 80 yards. Say again?
Just give it to Reggie Bush, right?
Exactly. Yep, that's exactly the thought. Yes, the old USC days.
Bush. Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's something that, I was going to mention if I had to compare with an NFL player, for me, Isaiah Fowler will be something like Marshall Faulk. Give it a little bit of a dump off, and, Marshall will turn it for 30, 40 yards.
Yeah, that's going to be a 20 or 22-yard return for Albuquerque as Moore takes it towards the 20, and here comes the Atomics on their next possession. They need something to go right offensively. They worked their offensive line in their week off, or in their their off days, I should say, and they're trying to boost that run game, but they don't have as much success as they would like, as that's going to be a run to the right for not very much. They'll get one.
Yeah, 2nd down and 9. Rie on the tackle, and it's just tough sledding against this Los Angeles defense, and it's been all season for pretty much every team in the UFL.
Yeah, that's not wrong. Hobbs coming in as a UFL debut against LA. That's a tough draw for him. That's going to be a run again for Hobbs, and that's going to be 4 more yards added on. Here comes, or 3 more yards added on, 3rd and 6. And against the league's best 3rd down defense, where they give up only 33% of the conversion attempts, Tolbert's going to try to find one. And that one is caught. That is incomplete. I did see that right. That is going to be a Tarkington Jr. incompletion. It's 4th and 6, and just like that, the Atomics are off the field again.
Yeah, I mean, just at the end of the play, able to knock the ball loose, and that's Parrish on the coverage. Mm-hmm. Tarkington does get both hands on the ball, and
he's got to catch that.
Yeah, you have to catch that for sure. The push from Parrish, through the balance of the receiver. But you're right. You have to catch that and get the first down.
The biggest thing about it is when you are only giving up 52% of passes against you. That's a big stat for LA. This punt return is going to go to the 20-yard line. But then you throw in the fact that they're only giving up a third on 3rd down conversions against. You have 2 percentages working against you against this LA defense, which has been stalwart all season long. As you take a look at Swift's numbers as the LA offense is back out onto the field. 1st and 10 for them. Trying to get a higher seed, currently number 6 in the Western Conference. That's a Fowler run off to the left in the off tackle spot, and he'll get himself 3 yards.
Did you really take a look at the player picture from the East and the West? First we saw the East. Now we saw the West. I mean, how about the division where the Pirates are in, Rochester is in. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, all 4 teams, at least with a 6-4 record, all 4 teams championship contenders for sure.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that a team as good as the Vultures are last in the division.
Yeah, some of those games there's some of those standings not exactly updated with the games that happened earlier tonight. This will be a long throw right side for Swift. This one's caught. What a dime from Marco Swift. And he found his target all the way down there. What a grab that was Iggy Turner. His 3rd catch of the game, and finds a way to tiptoe out of bounds.
Yeah, and I think that's just a miscommunication probably on the defense. 2 players were covering the same receiver, but they left Turner wide open.
Nickel look on D for Albuquerque. Heavy set look. Handoff Fowler, and he will not get very far as he has taken down no gain on that play. LA up 10-3, minute 56 to go in a rather slow-moving first quarter, all told, but a lot of action inside of it as we've had a decent amount of incompletions on either side. This will be Swift in the gun. Fowler blocking over the middle. That one finds its way incomplete between the two safeties, and it's 3rd and long.
Maybe the miscommunication on the offensive side in 3rd down and 10. You know, it's very hard to convert no matter what against what defense you go. You know, you don't have a whole lot of plays for that.
Swift again. This one will be short. A little bit of an escape valve to the outside for Fowler, and he has a crossing pattern towards the 50-yard line, but it's not enough for the first down. So Albuquerque's going to get the 3rd down stop, which is an achievement for them. They've wanted more of those. And they stop LA on this play. They're going to get the ball back, but LA creates an opportunity where they can pin Albuquerque deep.
Yeah, and I think right now, I mean, the first possession, the fumble and everything, you know, okay, but I think Los Angeles understands, like, let's not throw a bad interception. Let's just not force it because, you know, we don't need no pick six risk or anything like that. You know, the defense is going to do their job. And perhaps Los Angeles thinks this is a race for 20 points, right? The Aztecs thing, if we can get to 20, we really have a good chance to win this game.
Hey, that's the way their defense has played all season long. No doubt about that one. But one of their games, they had a game earlier in the season against Phoenix. They won the game 15-10, if that gives you any indication. That's a big-time hit. Wow. Jackson Hobbs just took one in the mouth from that guy right there. That is Kilgannon, who came up and gave him a lick at 2nd and 10.
Yeah, this defense is so fast, and they can hit very, very hard. I mean, we've seen a couple of shots from a couple of players.
Play action. Tolbert looks, throws right side deep, and he just missed, straight out missed his target. That should have been a completion, but Tolbert just a little bit off on the throw. 3rd and long.
Yeah, that was, you know, it's one of those few cases where Los Angeles secondary kind of breaks down. You have to convert on those passes.
Yep. Play action again. Tolbert, left side. That's caught. 1st down and more. That's going to get to the 50-yard line and no further as they get just about to the midfield stripe, and that is going to create a 1st down for Albuquerque as they move the chains.
Yeah, best play of the first quarter here for the Atomics. Really nice job just flooding the one side of the field, and one of the receivers was pretty open.
Trey McDowell on that catch.
Yep.
So here comes Albuquerque trying to set something up here. Heavy set look. 4-3 look on defense for LA. It'll be a direct snap on the sweep. It's going to be a couple of yards. They'll get themselves 4 yards, and that ends the first quarter of play. It's a 10-3 game. Aztecs ahead of the hometown Albuquerque Atomics. This is the UFL on the Virtual Football Network. Chris Curtis, Ramos Lynn in the broadcast booth with you, AI expert and UFL co-founder Cameron Irvine in the background as well, as that'll be a run to the outside, and it does not go very far, as that is a 3rd and long coming up here for the Atomics.
Yeah, they try to get him with the jet sweep, but what about the job by Kilgannon right there, just completely shutting down the edge, and he single-handedly made the whole play for the defense.
Sure, Tarkenton Jr. was the one on that sweep. He's got a decent amount of speed, but the blocking could not hold up. Here comes the Atomics on a 3rd down chance. Got to get it to the 40-yard line to convert. In the gun, Tolbert backs up, throws right side. Got a short route, looks like a curl, but he could not get the ball going forward. And that's Trey McDowell on the catch, but a nice stop to keep him away from the 1st down by Rie. That is going to be another punt coming up here for Albuquerque.
Now, at least, you know, they got a little bit of good, you know, field position battle. They will need another stop from their defense, of course. But if they can pin them deep inside the 10, then the Atomics are not in bad shape at all.
That is a punt that's going to bounce at the 7-yard line, bounce at the 1, and they have to down it in the end zone. It's going to go back to the 20-yard line. So the Aztecs back out there on offense. They have a quick strike from that man, Isaiah Fowler, on the run. They're going to call it a pass or a catch and run from earlier. He accounts for the only touchdown in this football game so far. 1st and 10 for LA. Handoff, left side, got some room to go. Isaiah Fowler gets a running start again, and he'll get all the way down to the 36-yard line. 35 officially, 1st and 10.
Yeah, averaging 5 yards a carry. It's a pretty slow start for Fowler in the first couple of rushing plays, but over the last 4, he's been much stronger, as has been the offensive line of the Aztecs.
Yeah, that'll work. That's Isaiah Fowler. He's been very good every time he's touched the ball so far today. So he continues to show elusiveness and speed out of the backfield. He's dangerous when he gets a running start. When he has to juke out of 3 tackles, he's not as dangerous, but it's going to depend on the penetration that Albuquerque gets. That's going to be a run forward, and the penetration was there. 7 rushes and 38 yards for Hamilton. Walters with the tackle, and it's 3rd and medium.
2nd down and 6 right now. I'll hand it off again, actually. Make it a 3rd and short.
Yeah, might as well. Low snap, handled well. That's going to be a nice run forward and a 1st down. Why not? If they don't stop you, just keep doing it. Another good rush for Isaiah Fowler.
You know, and you're tiring up the defense. You know, your defense is getting off the field in 3 downs, right? You know, with a great 3rd down defense. Meanwhile, if you keep doing those long drives, the Atomics defense is going to be gassed by the end of the first half.
Aztecs working on a longer drive here. 1st and 10, the 50-yard line exactly. Another handoff. And that is going to get themselves 5 more yards for Fowler. His 9th rush of the game. It's been the Fowler show this drive as they continue to kill clock a little bit here. 2nd and 6. Atomics in a good spot defensively if they can get a stop here early, but they cannot. Not going to happen. Another 1st down. This time, Knoll gets his 2nd rush of the ball game, and it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Aztecs.
Yeah, I mean, really, I like the variety. I know it's a lot of runs, but it's up the middle, to the left, to the right. It's variety within the run, not the inside zone.
And another one that goes inside, then back out. And it is not going to do what they necessarily wanted to as Thomas gets the rush. And that is going to be 2nd and 8 coming up after just a 2-yard gain. They're on the precipice of the field goal range, trying to make it a 2-possession ball game if they can. Swift throws, gets one outside on a nice little run. The catch and run is a good one. Already 9 completions out of 14 tries for Marco Swift, and they are moving the ball well down the field.
Yeah, and methodically. There's no rush here for the Aztecs as they keep doing the runs, the short throws. Good block right there as well to allow the 1st down to happen. You're going to see right there as he gets cleared out of the picture, but good job by everybody involved, and Bazar gets the 1st.
Yes, he does. Mars Bazar has been a pretty versatile weapon at the tight end spot. 1st and 10. This smells like another Aztec run. And it is. That's a Fowler run. We had a chance to cut it back outside, and instead he cuts inside and gets taken down before the 1st down marker. It is 2nd and 1 after a 9-yard carry.
And they're going to keep doing this, I think. You know, they may put Noel. It's actually going to be Fowler again in the I formation.
See if they continue to use Fowler in this spot. Play action. Swift has a ton of time. Throws. End zone. Incomplete. Couldn't quite get it done. I think that was actually caught out of bounds is what they'll say. Either way, 3rd and 7. 3rd and 1, sorry.
Yeah, and again, if he turns around just a fraction of a second before, probably that's a completion for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Very close. They'll move Fowler into motion here. He's running a route bottom of your screen. Swift throws, it's incomplete. Got put a little ahead of the wide receiver, couldn't quite get it done, and a 3-point try coming for LA as they try to get 3 more points added to their totals and make it a 10-point game.
Yeah, and Swift just rushed that one. I mean, he had Lazar wide open middle of the field. That's as easy as a completion that you will have as a quarterback. Right there, middle of the field, on a crosser. You cannot miss that.
Chris McCray with a 35-yard one right down the middle, and he will add 3 points. 13-3, Aztecs up with 6:23 left in this first half. That was a pretty decently long drive for the Aztecs as they kind of let the clock fall over and drip down as they were doing their thing. Albuquerque would do well to try to mirror the same thing, but the Aztec defense, the way they're playing, that's going to be easier said than done.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it will be massive, if Albuquerque can, get a good drive, at least one good drive before the end of the half, and, come away with some more points because, they really need the momentum swing, as Los Angeles has scored the last 13 points of the first half.
6:03 left in the second quarter. This will be a touchback as Albuquerque will start this next drive. More is there. So Tolbert, not exactly lighting the world on fire for the Albuquerque Atomics. However, they have another shot at doing something here. Robert Martin-Jones has 1 target, so maybe they worked him into the game plan a little bit more. See if they can get some completions out there. Starts with 1. Play action. Pressure coming right away, and he was not fooled on the play action at all. Morales Woods with the sack.
Yeah, just completely untouched as well. No chance on that one as the offensive line. I mean, that's 5 against 5 right there on the trenches. And obviously one of the defenders, the 6th rusher, is going to be completely untouched.
Miguel Morales Woods, the safety on the blitz, came through like a house on fire. 2nd and 17 after the 7-yard loss. Tolbert to the outside, has a chance to get it to the outside and does. Gets it close to the 27-yard line. Gets 10 yards on it. Make it 3rd and somewhat manageable at 3rd and 7.
Yeah, 3rd and not impossible, I guess a good way to say it. I mean, you do have about 8-10 plays on 3rd and 7 on your book.
Looking to throw this. Tolbert gets rid of it. Throws incomplete. Well-timed hit on that route to keep the ball away from the intended target. And the Aztecs come through with another 3rd down stop. That is, they've only given up 1 completion or 1 conversion so far in this game. Everything else has been zeros and blanks for the Atomics' 3rd down offense.
And great discipline by the LA defense. I mean, it must be said. Not allowing anything to get wide open, like deep or anything like that. And everybody was well covered. By the time the ball gets there, no interference, no defensive holding, nothing like that. Just a clean play and a solid play defensively from the Aztecs.
Yep, so Albuquerque going to kick this one away one more time. Aztecs take possession at the, they're going to let it bounce and into the end zone it goes. So back to the 20-yard line as this one went over the head of everybody. 1st and 10 for the LA squad. Well, he's got a lot of all-purpose yards. He's still got a good day at the office going in the rushing game. Isaiah Fowler, 10 attempts on the ground, 59 yards. Closing in on 175 all-purpose yards. This will be a throw for Swift. Caught. That's a good ball to the 35-yard line, a 15-yard catch. And that is going to get them a 1st down for Iggy Turner.
Yeah, really good timing on that one. I mean, you do the play action throw and Swift operation, no pun intended. Throw it to the outside and Turner does a really good route, stays in bounds, and the toe drag swag at the end.
Oh, how the Turner's tabled. Bunch right. 1 in the backfield. That is Fowler back there. You get the pitch play. Trying to work in the open field, and a great job on defense to get to the ball carrier. What a hit to bring him down, and that's going to create a 2nd and 14.
That's Malone on the stop, and Stevens just completely whiffed on that one. He was probably, his responsibility was probably the linebacker, but if a defender just stays right in front of you, you got to block him, and Malone with a big tackle for a loss.
Yeah, Shelton Malone Good work from the CB3 on the depth chart. 2nd and 14 for LA. Not impossible for them. This will be a forward play for Fowler. Nothing doing totally yet. And it's 3rd and long coming up here. Let's see if they can convert this 3rd and 8.
Quite a few 3rd and longs here in the first half. Curtis, both teams have done a really decent job, especially Los Angeles, but both teams have done a decent job on 1st and 2nd.
Looking to throw this left side and deep. That one's caught. What a grab downfield into plus territory at the 39-yard line. Another one for Iggy Turner at 24 yards.
I mean, that's just trusting your receiver, your number one guy, to make the play. It's one-on-one coverage. It's good coverage as well, but it's just a bigger target. The receiver, Turner, who has the body of a tight end, to be fair.
Yeah, it's true. He does. He does. He has a size advantage just about over every corner he's going to play against, if not speed as well. Bunch right, one to the left as well. Fowler with the run. He's going to try to break through that second level. He can't quite get through totally, but he does get a couple of yards. 2nd and 8.
Now you play the clock here a little bit, Curtis. I will run it here, take it to the 2-minute warning, and just leave Albuquerque as little time as possible.
Albuquerque does get the ball back at the start of the second half. That's going to be a deep ball over the middle, tipped and incomplete. Oh, man, that was a shot that they took over the middle of the field, and that nearly turned into a 1st and goal for the Aztecs. That was Lenric Fancher II who had a shot at that at the very end. 3rd and 8 now. Swift throws. That's caught down to the 10 to the 9.
Just right up the seam. What a play, what a throw. Fancher with a catch. Fancher has made a couple of really big catches here in the first half. And Los Angeles really cooking at this point, offensively and defensively.
After the opening drive turnover, they punted one time. LA has, and everything else has been downfield and getting points on their possessions. So this is, twice. Either way, LA has been pretty good with their drive efficiency. 1st and goal for the Aztecs as they can take a 3-possession lead potentially into the locker room if they can score here. Swift looks, throws, end zone. That is caught for a touchdown. The Aztecs score again, and that one is going to be Fancher on the completion. 3 straight throws to him. This one counts for 6.
Yeah, really good throw as well from Swift in between the zone. And defensively, not much more that you can do on that. I mean, the coverage, again, not terrible. Fancher wasn't completely wide open. But, you cannot defend the perfect pass.
No, you can't. That's about what that was, as the unclaimed wide receiver, Lenric Fancher II, in the number 3 spot on the depth chart, comes through for the Aztecs. 20-3 after the extra point is added on. And now Albuquerque, they are not done yet. This is a 2-for-1 opportunity for them. This is they have a chance, Ramos. They do have to score on this drive.
Yeah, I mean, they do. And it will be, again, huge, as I said a couple of drives ago, if at least one drive that they get here in the second quarter, they can cash in for some points. It's going to be a really big help because they really need it. Again, Los Angeles has scored on 4 straight possessions, or rather, they've scored on 4 possessions after Albuquerque scored the 3 points.
Yeah.
And, they really need to turn the tide here at home.
See what they can do. 20-3. LA about to get this one into the air. McCray boots it into the air, and here comes Moore and company from Albuquerque from the goal line. The return got stuck behind a blocker and gets to the 25, no further than that. And here comes the Atomic. So even a field goal on this drive, as you see the scores from earlier this week across your screen on the left-hand side, even if a field goal on this drive, Ramos, is decent, because then it gets them a chance to get it to within 1 score coming out of the halftime locker room.
Yeah, make it a 2-possession game, at least, and then you have a chance in the second half.
That is a Tolbert problem and a sack. Not gonna happen. Couldn't get it away, and the Aztecs get home to create a 2nd and 18.
You have to think, I mean, for Los Angeles, if they get another stop here on second down, I think you call a timeout. I mean, you have enough time probably to at least put another field goal on the board.
True.
And as
True.
we've learned, yeah, I mean, we've learned no lead in the UFL is safe. We saw a 21-0 lead in the first half, and then comeback in the second half. So.
And that is a catch and run. Changing direction right away is the receiver, Tarkington Jr. Only his first catch. He's had a couple of targets, but he hasn't been able to get it going all told. No huddle offense for Albuquerque with 1:09 left in this first half. Tolbert looks, pressure from behind, and he fumbles the football, and it's still picked up by the Atomics. So they do get out of it. But man, oh man, was that close to a big-time turnover. They'll have to kick this one away, and they'll give the Aztecs another possession.
And so here are some football rules, just in general, because the people may be, well, why didn't he run with it? So 2 minutes left in the first half and the second half. Only the player who fumbles the ball can recover and advance. If somebody else does it, like an offensive lineman, the ball is called dead. So that's why Albuquerque's play ends when the offensive lineman gets the ball.
Good call. Good call. Not many are aware of that particular rule. What a punt return. Great juke. Gets it back to the 30-yard line, and the Aztecs can add more points if they hurry this downfield. Miles with a great return on that. Noel, he's had a couple of carries. He's been involved for the most part. Not a lot of things on the stat sheet, but he is still there, and the coaching staff using him wisely. Here come the Aztecs with 24 seconds to go. How aggressive do they want to be? Swift about to tell us. Right side, that one's caught, and then out of bounds he goes to the 42-yard line.
So 1st and 10 here for Los Angeles. Clock stop with 20 seconds left. You can still throw the ball down the middle if you find it. Like, for example, Fancher had that pass up the seam, right? If you can call something similar to that, and you can find a receiver, you can still get another play, right? Like get that. You still have all 3 timeouts, but at least 2 more plays before the end of the first half.
Miles Morales-Woods, his first catch of the game on that. Swift to the outside, has Fowler out there. He's going to get bumped out of bounds. Clock indeed stops. It only took 4 seconds off the play clock, or off the game clock, and they get all the way to plus territory to the 46. So they're in Hail Mary range if they decide to do that, and they're in the gun on this first down. Over the middle, caught, first down and more, down to the 19-yard line to the 18, and the Aztecs call a timeout.
All right, so it will be about a, what do we fancy, Curtis? 50-yard field goal from here, give or take?
From this spot, it'd be 41.
Oh, 41. Sorry,
Yes.
I almost saw 34 instead of 24.
You're good. You're good, yep.
Yeah. I mean, Los Angeles sitting pretty. I will throw the ball to the end zone once if it's open.
Chance for them on this play. That is intercepted. The safety gets up to take that one away. And what a time to get their second turnover of the ball game for Albuquerque as they keep them off the board. And remember that Flanagan makes the play and keeps Albuquerque in it.
That's a huge play. That's a huge play, stopping an offense that has looked terrific here in the second quarter, especially. I mean, well over 300 yards for the Aztecs in the first half. Albuquerque probably has like 80. And so for the Atomics to still be in this game, realistically, I mean, it's not the end of the world here for Albuquerque.
This probably should be a run to get them to the locker room. 4 seconds left in this first half, and it will be. It will not go very far, though, and that is going to get us to the end of that half. Jackson Hobbs on the run. So LA comes through with an absolute clinic defensively in this first half. They lead them 20-3. Ramos Lynn, tell me what you saw during that first half of play.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the Aztecs dominate offensively and defensively after that first drive that we saw a fumble. I mean, other than that, the Atomics have 41 total yards of offense.
Yeah.
And the Aztecs have 351. This game, realistically, Curtis, it could be 35-0 at this point.
Yeah.
Or 35-3. So being at like 20-3 for Albuquerque, you have to say, man, if we can get at least one really good play on offense, one really good play on defense, we really are still in this.
Pause for station ID. This is the UFL on the VFN.
This presentation of the UFL is intended for the private use of our audience. Any accounts or descriptions of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Just about set and ready for the third quarter of action. It's 20-3 Albuquerque. After getting that end of first half interception, they will get the ball to start things off in this third quarter. This will be a return from Moore all the way out to the 23-yard line. Chris Curtis and Ramos Lynn as mentioned, and Ramos, third quarter needs to be a different type of intensity from the Albuquerque Atomics.
It really has to be, and it really has to be something with a purpose and with a game plan in mind, right? Not saying that they didn't do it to start the game. I'm saying change it up a little bit and really have a focus that you can attack the Aztec defense.
Time to adjust. Jet sweep play action, and they hand it off to the running back instead, and Hobbs gets taken down for a 2-yard loss. So the penetration for the Aztecs on the defensive line, and especially the blitzes from the secondary, have been absolutely punishing for the Atomics offense. Tolbert doesn't know which way is up in a lot of those cases, and he has no time to do anything.
Yeah, and this secondary is so talented and so good that they can afford to send 7 people and just have 4 guys in coverage because they know a lot of the times they're going to lock it down. I mean, it's very difficult to get separation against these corners and safeties.
2nd and 12. Tight end off to the right for Albuquerque. That's going to be a run for Hobbs. His first positive run in a little while. Gets them back into a makeable situation. 3rd and 8. Still a 3rd and long against the league's best third down defense.
That was a WWE level smack on that. As basically he just forearmed him in the face.
There's a shot for Tolbert. He's got a catch over the middle of the field at the 40-yard line. They'll say the 39, but it is a completion, and that was very well needed for the momentum. It's Bo Braxton, the tight end.
Yeah, first catch of the game for hashtag throw it to the tight end, if I may, as that's something that the Atomics need. Again, you know, come in with a purpose and with a little bit different, right? Not target the same guys over and over again. Just get all the players involved.
And here comes the Atomics trying to get something going. Their first down in a little while. Looking to throw this over the middle. Caught. First down and more. They have it in plus territory. It's the first time this game they've completed 2 passes in a row. So if that gives you any indication as to how dominant the Aztecs defense has been, that's a great one right there.
Yeah, and I don't remember too many times they got past the midfield stripe as well.
Looks to throw right side. That is a hitch route to come back, and it's another first down. They're in plus territory. This is a much better looking effort from the Atomics.
Yeah, much better. I mean, those 3 passes, probably the best 3 plays offensively of the game for the Atomics.
Heavy set look. Handoff. A little bit of room to go for Hobbs, but he doesn't get far. They're in field goal range at the very least. They get 3 on that. 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7. I'll keep it on the air right now, actually. Normally I will say, you know, make it a shorter 3rd down. I'll keep it on the air. Like the passing game is working a little bit right now. Crossing
patterns do warrant some success. They're going to go to the outside to the running back on this. There's a flag. They're going to call it late. Here is a face mask. Unnecessary roughness on the defense. That's tough. Personal foul is going to give them great field position. 1st and 10 all the way to the 18-yard line.
Those are the ones that you have to convert. Those are the ones that you have to take advantage of. 1st down and 10 at the 18.
They have something to work with here. Tolbert has a chance. Goes to the outside. Another hit out of bounds. Gets all the way to the 20. And actually loses 2 in the process. So there we go. Aztecs defense trying to stand up, goal line, stand time for those guys. They did it earlier. Can they do it again? 2nd and 12. Handoff. Hobbs going to have a chance to go around the outside to the 13-yard line, and forward progress will drop him there. It is 3rd and 6.
All right, so here I will throw a pass. I will send one guy to the end zone and 3 guys just past the sticks in different routes, of course.
Third medium throws, end zone. It's over the head of the intended target, and that is 4th down coming. Decision time for Albuquerque. I would assume they're going to want to take the field goal here.
You have to kick it.
Yeah, got to get the points.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, you cannot have your first or your best offensive drive of the game and come away with no points. You have to kick it.
Yeah, got to have it. Easier said than done, of course. Kick is up and on the way. It is up and it is through. I say got to have it. Neal knocks it through, but really, I mean, with all the kicking issues that we saw, special teams issues that we saw in the game night games earlier on, that every single time you have a special teams play going on, it creates a question mark. 2 blocked punts in the Charlotte game earlier.
Yeah, and it's not a guarantee. We've seen, I mean, especially Salt Lake. Doesn't the Hornets have like 3 blocked field goals this year? I mean, it's it's happened across the UFL. So even if it's a 30-yard field goal or whatever, that's not a guarantee by any means. Yeah,
it's a wild and wacky special teams play in the UFL these days. No doubt about that. 14-point spread right now, 20-6, as the Aztecs are going to get their first drive of this 3rd quarter started. And here they come. This will be a return for Miles, and he will get himself to the 25-yard line and no further than that. So here come the Aztecs offense. They've had success giving the ball to Isaiah Fowler with a running start. See if they try to work him in his starting position again. Marco Swift, 16 for 25. He's been efficient. No doubt about that. 1st and 10 for LA's offense. Fowler's first touch of the 3rd quarter goes about the way he would want. That's 4 yards, make it 2nd and 6.
Yeah, and again, we said again at halftime is, get a good play on offense, get a good play on defense. You're back in this game. They did get a couple of good plays on offense. Albuquerque did. Now they need to get a good play on defense. Get a sack. Get off the field on 3rd down.
Left side, that's caught. A lot of room down the left side as well. And that is a great catch and run. Wow. It is going to be a 1st and 10 down the sideline into plus territory to the 22-yard line.
That's a season long right there for Iggy Turner, turning off the field and getting a whole lot of yards. Turner has been busy so far in this game. By far the #1 option for Swift tonight. 39 yards on that last catch.
Yeah, he's been good. No doubt about that, and I would love to see it. See if the Aztecs can put more points on the board here. That's Fowler, and he's going to have it to the 31-yard line, and he gets stopped there. 2nd and 8 after just a 2-yard gain. They are already very close to field goal range one more time.
And it will be really good for Los Angeles if they can at least erase that field goal with one of their own.
Swift throws short left side. It is complete. I think they're going to call this ineligible. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. He stepped out of bounds before he caught that football, talking about Leonard Fancher, and he will drop that, as that will be a 5-yard penalty, 3rd down and long coming up.
Yeah, illegal touching on that one. Good call by the refs. Clearly 1 foot was out of bounds.
3rd and 9. Albuquerque trying to get a stop, get themselves off the field. Left side, that's caught. Not going to happen. All the way down to the 12-yard line. Lars Bazar has it. It's 1st and 10 at the 12.
And with that, Los Angeles gets over 400 yards of offense. It's just been a sensational game by Swift, to be fair. And in those circumstances, those intermediate throws, aside maybe a couple of passes, he's been terrific.
He has been fantastic all day long. The Albuquerque defense hasn't been able to measure up. However, I will say this, them giving up 20 points doesn't necessarily say they've played a bad game, but Aztec defense has been very good in this game, which makes things all the harder. Bunched right side. Aztecs get the handoff done. Fowler gets dropped in the backfield, so a nice bit of penetration there, and that's a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, and the reason why, because when it has mattered most, Albuquerque has been able to get a couple of stops. So, again, the Aztecs, statistically, they could probably have more than 30 points in this game. But again, Albuquerque has made some good plays inside their own 30-yard line.
At the 15. 2nd and 13. They can get a first down at the 2. Handoff for Knoll. He's going to have a chance to get forward, and he will get dropped. Or sorry, that was actually Thomas with the rush. 3rd and 6. Walters on the stop. See if the Aztecs can make this hill to climb that much harder. Motion, put Fowler on the outside. And they will not get it off in time. It's a delay game. Mistake for the Aztec offense.
Yeah, it's a big mistake because, like, again, 3rd and 5, making it to a 3rd and 10. The situation is very different on a 3rd and 10 than it is a 3rd and 5.
So back to the 12 they go. Swift has the football, backs it up. Pressure not amounting to much yet. Now we'll take off and run. The tuck, the juke, and he gets taken down. Back first onto the turf, down to the 8-yard line. The 6 is what they'll say, actually. And it'll be 4th and 4, but the Aztecs should be able to add 3 points.
Yeah, so Albuquerque does get half the stop. A good job by Los Angeles, as they will have a chance to, again, erase that field goal with one of their own. And basically we're up to, square one, how we started the first half. So decent job here by Los Angeles as well. And again, as I said at the start, for them, maybe they think, 20 points, when's the threshold in which we really feel comfortable to win this game. Marcus Swift did not risk an interception. He did not, make a back mistake or nothing like that. So all in all, a decent, successful drive for the Aztecs.
23 yards is going to be the field goal, and it is up and through for Chris McCray, right hash. So they undo the 5-minute drive that Albuquerque just had with one of their own. Now just 3 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. And we're basically back to where we started at the start of the second half. It's a 17-point spread.
And, Albuquerque basically has to gather themselves again. And, there's a few things that worked in the previous drive, right? They had about 3 really good throws. And if they can build on that, they can probably make it again a 2-possession game before the end of the 3rd quarter.
Let's see how we do. Martin Jones, Albuquerque's wide receiving target, just 5 targets on the day. Had 1 in the first half, so he's been targeted a couple times since then. Tolbert in the play action. Pressure coming, in trouble, and he fumbles the football again. He does get picked up, and they can advance the football, but it's down to the 11-yard line. 2nd and 23. That's a big loss to take on first down.
And you have to be more careful with the ball if you're Tolbert. And just have it close to your chest, man. By the time he tries to tuck it in, it's a little bit too late. And now it's 2nd and forever.
Problems abound for Albuquerque. They got to get it downfield in a hurry. Tolbert going to roll a bit, throw to the outside, going to try to get some of it back here. Work to the outside, as that'll be a catch for Hobbs. He gets himself a couple of yards back and make it 2nd or 3rd and 22. So they still need a lot. Again, first down marker not even on screen. 3rd and very long. Tolbert in some trouble. Heaves it deep downfield, and it is incomplete. Safety got up to nearly take it away, and it's going to be a punt from their own end zone for Albuquerque.
Wow, I mean, it's crazy. You only rush with 3 players, and you can still get to the quarterback. I mean, to be fair, that's a great play by the nose tackle, but that's also inexcusable for Albuquerque. You cannot be blocking with 5 guys and allow a 3-man rush. That just cannot happen.
Yeah, not a good way to look for the Atomics offense, who's been struggling most of the night. That's going to be to the 29-yard line, punt return to the 32, and that is it for Miles and company. 1st and 10 for the Aztecs, as they've continued to silence on defense this Albuquerque offense. But Iggy Turner's been good on the other side of the ball. 5 catches, 117 yards, and he will continue to try to be the outlet for Marco Swift and company. Don't forget about Isaiah Fowler back there too. It may be his time to shine. Swift in some trouble. He will tuck it and run. 1st down. He gets taken down at the 43. 1st down and 10 for Marco. His 3rd rush of the game. He's got 6 per.
Another 1st down here for the Aztecs. They've been racking them up so far in this game, and it's been Swift's playmaking ability. Not so much on the ground. That one was on the ground, but to find the open receiver, to stay patient, is really what's made the difference for the Aztecs.
Aztecs going to try to kill some time in theory. They don't want to give any hope to Albuquerque, even on their own field. Left side, that's a catch, and I think that would have been a better throw to try to lead his receiver as he has to come back to the football, but it worked out. Lars Bazar with the catch, make it 2nd and 4.
Simple drag route, just a shallow cross. It's an easy read right there for going to Bazar for a gain of 6 yards. He'll take it any day.
Yep. Good work on 1st down. Creates a very makeable 2nd down play, just shy of midfield of the Aztecs. Quick throw on the RPO and a screen play that didn't go very far. They do get a couple, and nope, they actually call it none. Very good. 3rd and 6 for the Aztecs. Albuquerque with a chance to get off the field here if they have any form of intent to come back in this football game. This is one of the biggest 3rd downs of the game for them. Gotta make it happen. LA in the gun. Swift looks, now throws short, plenty of room, 1st down and more, down to the 43-yard line. Albuquerque can't make the stop. The drive continues to end the 3rd quarter. It is a 23-6 ball game. Aztecs out in front as we hit the 4th. Put your 4s up in chat. It's the Virtual Football Network with the UFL on tap. Handoff. Right through the middle is Fowler. His 17th rush of the game. He's got 9 yards there. Ramos, this 4th quarter needs to be something different for Albuquerque. First things first, they got to get off the field and not give up any points.
Yeah, they desperately need a huge play.
Got to find it somewhere. Fowler gets the 1st down. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, a huge play on defense, a huge play on special teams, right? If they can force a field goal, have a field goal blocked, they really need to steal a possession from Los Angeles and score rather quickly, preferably.
And off through the middle. Good job by Albuquerque to get to the running back. That was a play that didn't quite work out from the pistol formation. Sets 2nd and long after that tackle.
So, for Los Angeles, they're worrying more about possession of the ball, keeping the clock moving, and just again not making any dumb mistakes.
And off, and a huge hit. Wow. Noel got tomahawked back at the 40-yard line. They'll say the 38. It is 3rd and very long. This is Albuquerque's time to maybe get off the field. If they're going to make something happen, this is a play they have to have.
Yeah, they really do. And for Los Angeles, they go only with 2 receivers. I think we're going to go at least with 3. I would say run one guy deep, maybe a couple of guys short, and see what's open.
That is a run right side, and they'll get to the 32-yard line, 31 No, they'll say 32. So they do have a shot at a field goal here, which would make it a 20-point ball game. It's already a 3-possession ball game. That would cement that and make it so they have to score 3 touchdowns with this fourth quarter. They're going to try it. McCray with a 49-yard attempt at the right hash. Kick is on the way. It is low, and it's no good. Didn't get it done. Low of the bar, and that may be the opening that Albuquerque needs. Now they got to turn it into some momentum the other way.
Yeah, they really do. So they get a break on that one. The kick, surprisingly short. It wasn't super long. I mean, it was 48, but, you know, that was surprisingly short. So this is Albuquerque's time to inch closer in this game. They really need a touchdown on this drive if they want to have a realistic chance.
Here we go. 1st and 10. Looks to throw this. That's over the middle. Caught. Albuquerque wasting no time. Quick out of the hands from Tolbert. He's got to continue to do that. That's 10 yards. 2nd in inches. Reminder, no spikes. Even as time dwindles down, you cannot stop the clock by hurtling it into the ground. No huddle. Tolbert, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Not going to happen. He's taken down at the 38-yard line. They'll say 37, and it's another sack for the LA defense.
And that's been a problem here for Tolbert and the offense of the Albuquerque Atomics. You know, it's at points it's like, you know, 1 step forward and 2 steps back for these guys.
Left side, that is incomplete. Big time hit at the end of that play. Jarred the ball loose, and nothing doing for Albuquerque. I don't think they're going to try a 4th down conversion here. Arguments say they would probably need to try for this, but I don't think they will.
I mean, on a 4th and 11 at this possession of the field, I don't think so either, man. I think
you got to get rid of it. Yep. No, they are going for it. Okay, so 4th and 11 with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, down 3 possessions. This is probably the right call. Can they convert? Left side, it is intercepted. Back the other way, and they continue to have it. That's a lot of running room. Down the right side, and he's chased down at the 26-yard line. That is perfection from the Aztec defense, and they force the turnover and can maybe put this game away.
Yeah, I mean, 1 touchdown, you really are putting this one out of reach. The 18th interception as a team for the LA Aztecs that leads the league. And, you know, what a time to come away with that pick.
Yeah, Marion Turner. That was a fantastic interception from the first cornerback on this Aztec depth chart. And that is a man right there who's been playing very well. Marco Swift in a good spot. Plenty of room. 1st down and more for Isaiah Fowler's 23rd rush of the game.
So difficult to stop, you know, especially, you know, how the game has gone, you know, Curtis. Albuquerque, they've had a few drives that end up in a 3-and-out, or, you know, you put your defense on the field way too much.
Through the middle, like a little bowling ball, is Fowler there. He gets a few going forward. 2nd and 6. LA trying to finish the diffusion of the bomb. If they can do so, they will move into a 7-3 record and likely improve their standing in the Western Conference. Swift to the outside, has some room, trying to turn it upfield, can't finish the job. It's at the 7-yard line. It's 3rd and 1.
We're talking about a difference in yards of about 480 to 65.
Yeah.
It's almost unbelievable this is only a 17-point game.
It really is. And that tells you some things. And it's going to be a chance for a sack, and they will bring him down. Finally able to get to Swift. So they will, again, hold him to 3 points. That's the difference right there. That it's a 17-point game, maybe a 20-point game after this, but it could be a 35 or 40-point game if they turn those field goals to touchdowns.
We've seen blowouts in the UFL that doesn't have this kind of yard disparity. I mean, there are games in general that sometimes the one offense gets 400 yards, the other 250, and it's a 3-touchdown game, right? I mean, it's really incredible how with 65 yards of offense, it's 20 points.
Yeah, and as McCray's going to drop that into the bucket with another field goal up and gone. That one from 38. So you talk about that, and a lot of the Aztecs' damage tonight, in my view, has come between the 20s. Yeah. When they get into the red zone, they haven't been able to always, I would not say completely, but they haven't been able to always put it in the end zone.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, they have, what is it, 4 field goals on the board?
Pretty sure it's 4, yep.
Yeah, so if you do 4 points left on the table times 4, that's 16. They could have 42 points in this game.
Yeah, 42 points looks a lot different than 26-6. I can tell you that. But the Atomics are going to get this ball back. I mean, it may, even with that 20-point deficit, it may look much larger than what it is the way the Aztecs are playing. They haven't given up a touchdown all game. They've had chances to give up touchdowns, but 2 goal line stands are the difference. Those are the 6 points that Albuquerque has. If they turn those into touchdowns, they're leaving 8 points on the table. 26-14 looks very different than 26-6. That'll be a chance for Tolbert. He pushes it to the outside, and that'll be a 2-yard gain. Nothing more than that, as Hobbs did what he could in the open field. 2nd and 7.
Yeah, and really the Aztecs set the tone with the first defensive drive of the game when they were put behind the 8 ball at the 7-yard line, and they did not allow a single yard.
No, they didn't. Yeah, that was really, really good play defensively, as this will be a ball over the middle that's caught. And Hobbs has it out of the backfield. 1st and 10 for Albuquerque. No huddle again. See if they can do something with 5 and 9 seconds left in this 4th quarter. Tolbert's in trouble again, and he gets taken down, holding onto the ball way too long. And another one finds the turf. Michaela Foraker with a big-time sack, and she'll bring it to a 2nd and 20 to a 2nd and 21.
You got to go for broke right now, man.
Yep, got to get it downfield. Tolbert's going to put this to the outside. That is incomplete, as that one was a step out of bounds for Hobbs.
Yeah, and I understand, maybe nothing open down the field. Nothing has been open down the field for the Atomics, but, I don't know, give one of your guys at least a chance.
Get something done. That's going to be a rush forward, and they'll get something on it. An interesting play call, but I guess if you're playing for 4 downs, you can try to get something. 4th and 16. It's not completely out of the realm of possibility, just not likely the way this offense is going.
Yeah, I know, and maybe. I mean, I don't know if that's the white flag, Curtis, to be completely honest with you. We'll see. We'll see what they throw off on 4th down. Well, they will go for it with 3 receivers and a tight end. So let's see.
See what they can do. Tolbert backs it up, looks to throw, going for the 1st down. It's picked off. 2nd interception of the game, and more running room down the right side, and it's another one. That is another interception. Wow, is that Marion again? Marion Turner?
Yeah, that's Marion Turner one more time. And again, if you just look at the box score, because like Los Angeles, I don't know what they're going to do. Probably they're just going to try to run the rest of the clock. We've seen bludgeonings, including from the Aztecs. We saw 41-0, right? And we've seen bludgeonings here in the UFL. Not a whole lot, but we've seen some. You see this 26-6. It's like, okay, the Aztecs controlled the game. This might be the most lopsided game of the season.
It's possible.
Like after the first drive, and there's no disrespect, and I'm not trying to like throw anything at anybody. In retrospect, it didn't look at any point in this game that Albuquerque had any momentum at all.
It's the 19th interception this season for the Los Angeles Aztecs. More defensive prowess, and now this 3:30 can get chewed up by Isaiah Fowler and company, as he's going to have it on a second down run that goes nowhere. 3rd and 6 coming up. Few first downs, and we may be able to call this one good. Albuquerque has 3 timeouts, wondering if they'll actually be able to use them, or if they're actually going to use them at this point. 2 to the left, 2 in the backfield, as Swift tries to finish up this game at the 35. That's going to be left side, first down and more for Isaiah Fowler. He'll get it down to the 29-yard line. Last check into the game, likely for Cameron Irvine, our AI expert. What's going on?
Yeah, so you won't see those timeouts taken because the deficit is by more than 2 scores. So what we'll see instead is Los Angeles essentially just run their normal offense. Their waste time offense. You might see some passes in there, but mostly runs. It's a trade-off. You know, you don't want to see a bunch of timeouts being taken at the end of a game when the game is in doubt. But at the same time, the AI thinks you got 3 timeouts, so they have to keep the pedal on the gas. So Albuquerque hoping they don't give up some more points here down the stretch.
Thanks, Cam. Good job, as always, in the background for Primetime. 2nd and 1 as another 9-yard gain for Fowler. 2-minute warning on tap. 120 seconds left to the end of this one. 26-6 LA, firmly in control in Albuquerque. See if the Aztecs can convert. Play action for Marcos Swift. He's going to go for the end zone. It is incomplete. Couldn't quite hold on from the 20-yard line. Chris Curtis along with Ramos Lynn as we finish things up here in New Mexico before heading off for more games this week in UFL land. And Ramos, good stuff today as always. Just a, I wouldn't even say lopsided game. I mean, the yardage says that for sure, as Fowler's going to get the first down. But I mean, from a defensive side of the ball, this was a competitive game. Maybe not so much offensively.
Yeah. Albuquerque made a couple of good plays. Now, I was thinking of that. There was one game, and I would probably need Cameron Irvine's input on this. There was a game that Rochester lost.
Yeah.
And literally the first down of the game for the Pioneers came like late in the 3rd quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I won't. Let's see if Cameron Irvine can give us the stat. Was Wichita probably? It was completely like a bludgeoning to the Rochester Pioneers.
That's pretty good. This will be the left side caught. That is a running start on the catch, and couldn't quite get to the first down marker as Isaiah Fowler, but he does get a few yards. 2nd and 4. Aztecs going to move to 7-3 once this is done. So a heck of a week for those guys as they continue to climb the ranks of the Western Conference. This is a team that is scary on defense. Do not want to be in their path. That's a throw to the end zone, and it's picked off. So 2 interceptions on the day for Marcos Swift, and the Atomics get a chance with the ball with a few seconds left.
Yeah. Again, fighting until the end. Again, to your point, the defense and for the Aztecs, it's been between the 20s, but once they get to the 20-yard line, they have been unable to put a lot of touchdowns on the board.
Maybe that's something that they can improve on in their weekly game plan potentially, if they have the opportunity.
Oh, you know what? It was against San Diego.
Okay.
But before Cam even responds, I don't know if he's gonna say that. I see him lurking. We lost that game. I think it was against San Diego.
And that's going to be thrown away. So Albuquerque trying to do something here.
Yeah, it was 6 first downs for Rochester Ramos. 6 first downs in that loss to San Diego. Y'all had 136 total yards of offense, so we'll see where Albuquerque is up here.
Wonder what the low is for the season for a UFL team. That's over the middle. That's caught. First down and more down to the 43-yard line. Clock continues to tick away. They're going to try the no huddle. 10-second runoff should put them at about 4 seconds. See if they get something done.
Yeah, last play.
Yep, last play of the game right here. Albuquerque not going to go for broke. They're going to get it down to the 32-yard line. They'll go for yardage to try to get more than Rochester did in their loss. But I don't think it's going to be. Did they really?
Yeah, they had 160 passing yards. I don't know how many rushing yards they had. I don't know how many rushing yards, including the stacks. But I think it's going to be just enough. 136 is the number to beat here for the Atomics.
All right, so Rochester is still at the bottom of the barrel in yardage for one game in the UFL. The Atomics do beat the number. That said, the Atomics don't get the win that they really wanted. They really wanted to get themselves back into the playoff hunt, but the Aztecs proved too powerful tonight on the road in Albuquerque. Ramos, final thoughts?
I mean, this is the good Los Angeles team that we see, right? I mean, this is the Aztec team that, when it's at its best, is the clear championship favorite. You know, we've seen some, bumps on the road for Los Angeles, but again, when this defense is on it, when this offense is cooking, they're really, in my humble opinion, there's no match for the Los Angeles Aztecs. As 129. So
they didn't get it.
They did not get it. They were 7 yards shy. So my Pioneer brothers, we got one of these.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. That's going to be it for UFL Primetime on a Tuesday night. 2 more chances for game nights and prime times this week. Watch out for more and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's the VFN on YouTube. For Ramos Land and Cameron Irvine, I'm Chris Curtis saying goodbye and good night from Albuquerque. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you later in the week.